In this episode, I'm going to demonstrate how we can use EBS volume snapshots as a backup for our EC2 server and disaster recovery for our EC2 server. This one is a manual process, it's a manual way, and it's mostly used in a very small organization. So this is a manual backup and disaster recovery. So what happened there is that I told you that any time they launch EC2 web server, there is always a backup that they always attach to it, which is EBS volume. And that EBS volume is regional scope. So meaning that if a particular web server crash in one region and there's already EBS volume attached to it as a failover, so that EBS volume cannot be moved to another region. Okay, let's say for example, we launch a particular EC2 now. We attach it to this Virginia, which is in United States. So if maybe there is a failover or maybe our web server crash within this region, and we want to launch a new web server in maybe in another region. Let's say we want to launch it in AP South. You understand? We launch new EC2 server in AP South. The EBS volume that we have attached to the web server that is here cannot be automatically moved here because EBS volume is regional scope. So to avoid that, what we are going to do is to do what we call EBS Snapshots. So EBS Snapshot is the solution. So we can easily remove the EBS volume that is here and attach it to the EC2 that is here using EBS Snapshot. So that's what we want to do in this video. So now let's go. So what I'm going to quickly do first is I'm going to quickly launch an EC2 and I will attach an EBS volume to it. So just click on EC2 here. You can see. So see the region we are now. This is Virginia, United States. So I'm going to give it a name. I can see web server. So web server. So I'm going to choose the operating system. Let's keep going. Then let me just leave this one, leave all these ones. You don't need to keep here. You don't need security group, or let me just select an existing security group. Just select this one. Now, here, this is the EBS volume page. You can see it here. Now, in this EBS volume now, we have 8 and we have what? We have the what's it called? The storage. You can see. So the storage here, you can see SSD, SSO. I'm just selecting this. Now, this is the EBS volume. I'm attaching to this particular EC2. And this EBS volume is within this region. You can see it. So let's move on. Let me click on advanced. So under advanced now, I can see some details about EBS volume. Now, from here now, you can see. So delete on termination. You can see. So delete on termination. If I select no now, meaning that I don't want to delete EBS volume. Even if they delete the EC2, the EBS volume will not be deleted. So I need to encrypt my EBS volume for security purpose. Yeah, I need to encrypt it in a TMS. So let me just select a default TMS. You can see it. So I can add multiples or I can reduce it. It doesn't mean. So that's that. So that's that. So what I just need is just to launch the EC2 with the EBS volume. So this EBS volume is like the backup for our EC2. It's going to be the one that will store some configuration, some setting, some data that our EC2 is using to run. Our EC2 server is using to run our application. So it will store something so that if we want to launch new EC2, if maybe this one crashed now, we want to launch new one. So this one, we can easily attach some configuration that we have configured on this EC2 that's already stored in this EBS volume. We can easily attach to the new EC2 that we're going to launch in this same region. But what we want to do now is I want to see that, okay, if this EC2 web server failed, we want to launch another one in another region that's different from this Virginia. So how are we going to migrate this EBS volume from this region to that region? So I'm going to use it as a failover in another region. So that's what we want to do now. So I'm just going to click on launch. So sorry, I need to select a key pair name. Just go without key pair. I don't need to access the. So just click on launch. Go to web server that we just launched. And if I scroll down, I go to storage. You can see this is the EBS volume that I just attached. You can see the size 8 gig. So this EBS volume now has stored some configuration. Most of all settings. You understand? The setting, the networking configuration, and some details that we're going to configure on this EC2. Some of them will be stored here. So that if this EC2 server fails, we can just remove this one, detach it from this EC2, and we can attach it to another EC2 web server, and it will continue without failing. So now what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to navigate to the EBS volume by this left. Just navigate here. So you can see that we have a volume here. Just click on volume. We have volume, we have snapshot. So let's first check on the volume. Now you can see here now. You can see here we have what? We have 2 EBS volume. We have 2 EBS volume. So you can see that one is insufficient data. You can see Why the other one is what is okay. So this one that is okay now is the one that we just attached to our EC2. It's the one we just attached to our EC2. So this particular EBS volume now is the one that we just attached to what to EC2. If I click on it now, so you can see that it's the one that we attached to our web server. You can see, so it's the one that we are currently using for our web server. So let me go back and name it. So let me just name it EBS web. So I've named it already so that we can identify it. So this is the EBS volume that what we are actually using. Selected this EBS volume. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on action. And if you look at this option here, you can see I have create snapshots. So this create snapshot now is what I can use to migrate this EBS volume from this region to any other region I want. You understand? Without using snapshot, EBS volume cannot leave this region that it is. Can only work for this region. So to make it available in another region, I'm going to click on what? Create snapshots. So yeah, I can just say web server snapshots. Now you can see that it's already encrypted, secured. You can see. Then I'm going to click on create. You see, I can decide to attack. So let me just click on create. So now we have created a snapshot for this EBS volume. You can see it. We have created that. So what I'm going to do now is that you can see that under this volume here, we have a snapshot. You can see. So let me click on snapshot to check what we just created. So you can see now we have a snapshot. This snapshot is the one that you can see web server snapshots. You can see it's still pending. Let me refresh it. So it is still loading. So let me name it EBS web server. EBS snapshot. So this EBS snapshot. So let me just wait for a while for this thing to. So now you can see that it is already set up, completed. So what I'm going to do now is, because I want to migrate this EBS volume, I want to move it to another region. So what I'll just right click here. If I right click here, you can see copy snapshots. So just click on copy snapshot. Then it's going to open this page for you. So in this page now, I'm going to paste these details. You can see. So this is the description. You can see this is the description. So copy snapshot blah, blah, from US East 1. You can see web server snapshot. Then I'm going to select the destination. Which region did I want to use this thing? So that any web server I launch there, I can attach this EBS volume to it. So that's just the essence. So yeah, I'm already in US East 1. So I can select any one. I can select App South 1. You can see. So App South 1, you can see. This is Mumbai. You can see I can select App South 1, which is Mumbai. So if I select that now, automatically it means that I've migrated it to India. From US to India. You understand? As a failover. You can see it. So the essence of just doing this thing is to prevent failover and to enable backup for our EC2 server that is running on Vagina. So that in case our EC2 server that is running on Vagina crash, we can easily start up a new server in Mumbai, which is another region, and quickly attach the EC2 EBS volume to it without wasting much time. So that's just the essence. You can see. Then after that, I'm just going to come here. Then I'll click copy. So the moment I click copy, then it will be migrated to that. So I don't want to do that because it's going to cost me some money, and I don't need it. So I'm just showing you how to create EBS snapshots. That's that about that. So let me go back. So another thing I can do is that I can create volume. I can create EBS volume from this snapshot. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to select this, click this. You can see create volume from snapshots. I can create EBS volume, a storage from these snapshots that I have. So if I click on create, you can see. So I can select the kind of storage I want, maybe GP2. So you can see we have 8 GB as the size. I can increase it. Now you can see this availability zone. So in this availability zone, I can select any availability zone that I want. You understand? If I don't want it in this region, if I don't want to create the EBS volume from the snapshot in this region, I can decide to move it to maybe this region. You can see, or I can decide to move it to another region entirely. You can see it. So then the volume rates, I can decide to select this and put a particular volume rate I want. So maybe 100, or 200 or whatever I want. I can put it there. Then I can encrypt it. You can see it is already encrypted as default because from where I am trying to work, I'm trying to create it from where I'm trying to, from the snapshot I'm using to create this EBS volume is already encrypted with what with KMS default. So that's why this one is already encrypted. So I can decide to change it here and add new key that I want to encrypt it. So you can see it now. Now if I click on create, so I've created new EBS volume. You can see I've created new EBS volume from EBS Snapshots. Snapshot I took from one EC2 server. I use it to create new EBS volume. So if I go to the volume now, so I'm going to see it here. Now you can see this is it. This is it. You can see this is it. You can see the IOPS is 100. So this is it. This is it. So this simply means that I can copy EBS volume from one region to another region within seconds. So you can see this one is in one region, which is what US East 1. This one is what US East 1F. This one is 1A. This one is 1F. So that's it. Now if I click on this recycle bin that I have here, so let me click on it. I can create a retention rule for my EBS volume backup. So I can create a retention rule, like a kind of rule that will actually shows like how many days, how many months will they retain some of those data. So if I click on create, so you can see I can just call it maybe web server retention, web server retention, web server retention rule. And I can add any description I want, but it's optional. So resource type, I'm going to select a resource type that what kind of resources I want to, like I'm trying to set up retention rule for. So in this case now, I'm going to select EBS snapshot. So the EBS snapshot, I'm going to select it. Then here I'm going to select retain all resources. So I'm going to select retain all resources. You can see. So the retain rule apply to all resources of the selected type. So all resources that is from this snapshot is going to help me to retain it. Then I'm now going to set up a retention period. I'm going to set up a retention period. So I can set up a retention period maybe 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or even 365 days. So I can retain some data on it, as a backup. So some data from my EC2 web server, I can retain them for maybe 365 days or 1 day, 2 days, 3 weeks, whatever month I want. So I can leave there, I can retain them. Then I may decide to put it in unlock. You understand? So unlock means that it can be modified, it can be deleted, you understand, by any user. But if I put it on lock, it means that I want to lock it. Nobody else can delete it. You understand? Without my knowledge. So now if I just click on create retention, so now you can see I've created a retention for just 2 days. You can see. So this is going to help me to retain the data in my EBS volume. I'm going to retain it for that 2 days. You understand, as a backup. So in case my normal web server fails, I have a snapshot that is acting as a backup, that it is backing all the data, storing all the data, keeping them in case my web server fails. So that I can easily launch the new EC2, maybe within the same region or in another. Now, if I go back to the snapshots in our EC2, let me go back to snapshots. So let me just click on this and look for the storage. So you can see, let me come to the storage tier here. Now under the storage, so under this, I'm going to click on action. Then I can see archive. You can see? So I'll click on archive. So I can say archive snapshots. Archive snapshots. So you can see this archive snapshot is to store full copy of the snapshots in the archive tier. You understand? I want to archive it, I want to store it, I want to keep it safe. So in the archive snapshot. So now let me archive these snapshots. I want to archive it so that in case maybe I deleted it, I mistakenly deleted it, or something happened to the EBS snapshot. So I want to see what will happen. So let me archive it. Now I've archived the EBS snapshots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete the snapshot. So I will assume that I mistakenly deleted it. So I'm going to delete the EBS snapshot. So let me go to the EBS snapshot. So you can see this is it. This is the EBS snapshot. So let me click on this and let me delete it. So let me click on delete snapshots. So I'm going to act as if I mistakenly delete it. So that is just the importance of the archive. So now you can see it's no more here, showing that it's no more here. Abi, good. Now if I go to the recycling bin, I go to the recycling bin and I go to the resources. Now you can see that I still have it here. You can see that I still have it here. You can see. So I still have my EBS volume here. So from here now I can select and recover my EBS volume. You see now. I can select and recover it. So if I click on recover, so now that I've clicked on recover, if I go back to my snapshot and I refresh it, automatically my EBS snapshot is back. So this is how to use EBS volume for failover, for backup, and disaster recovery. So that is the end. I hope you like it. See you in my next video. Thank you.